Yo guys, what is up? Max here, Diablo 4 video, and today I just wanted to go over a quick theory-crafted barbarian build that could possibly be really strong in Season 1. Now obviously we need to actually test it with the hearts, but this build would use the Butcher's Cleaver. The Butcher's Cleaver is probably one of the most memed on uniques. It's pretty terrible, however, it's got a really strong synergy with one of the new Malignant Hearts that is coming in Season 1, and today I want to talk to you about why this could be so strong. So the heart to focus on here is the Creeping Death Heart. This heart reads, your damage over time effects are increased by 30 to 40% for each different crowd control effect on the target. Unstoppable monsters and staggered bosses instead take 110 to 130% increased damage from your damage over time effects. Now, this sounds really great for damage over time builds. Bleed Whirlwind, even though Barbarian is dealing less damage than it was prior to this nerfs, all the classes are dealing basically less damage, but Bleed Whirlwind is still stacking up a ton of dots. On the Butcher that I just fought, I stacked 160k bleed dot. Uber Lilith kills are still stacking bleed dots. Bleed Barbarian is still going to be pretty strong, and this heart, if we can find a creative way to take use of it, could be really great for the Barbarian. The issue with it is the Barbarian is not great at crowd controls. They in fact just nerfed our literal best crowd control, which was Hamstring. Hamstring, your bleeding effects slow healthy enemies by 20%. This used to be always a slow on everything. Now, if I hit an enemy with Whirlwind, there's no chance that enemy doesn't lose 80% of their health, or sorry, their first 20% of their health to be considered non-healthy. So this slow just sucks now. However, the Butcher's Cleaver, when we lucky hit, when we critically strike an enemy, we have a 100% chance to fear and slow them. Note, this is 2 crowd controls already, so we're already stacking up 80% increased dot damage on targets. You may think that the big issue with this is that they would be feared and enemies would run away, but we have an aspect that Whirlwind pulls in enemies, as well as a brand new aspect that when we get close to enemies, we get guaranteed stuns, and we have lots of stuns. So we're going to have slows from our bleed, we're going to have slows and fears from the Butcher's Cleaver, we're going to have a stun from the new aspect that when we get close to 5 enemies, we stun them, and we can have our bleed stun enemies, and then we can also pair this with the Skullbreakers aspect. Stunning a bleeding enemy deals a percentage of their total bleeding amount to them as physical damage, and we could kind of set up a really unique Bleed Whirlwind where we're hitting enemies with the Butcher's Cleaver. Note that you can put this Butcher's Cleaver on, for example, and not actually use it, so we could still use a two-handed slashing Whirlwind, or we could use like a Ramalani's with the Butcher's Cleaver, and like regardless, we can just slot this weapon in. The Barbarian has a lot of places to put affixes or enchants, so like putting this on and getting this isn't gonna like worsen our damage too much because there's not that many great like damage multipliers that we can grab, and this could give some real life to a Bleed Whirlwind Barbarian where we're getting a ton of different CCs. We've got stuns, we've got slows, we've got fears, and we're stacking up to 120% more dot damage on enemies. The other 2 hearts that could be really interesting with this is the Barber heart, where critical strikes and all subsequent damage within 2 to 4 seconds is absorbed by your target. Then the absorbed damage erupts onto surrounding enemies. Stored damage is increased by 10% per second. Whirlwind is really easy to reach a 100% crit chance, so we could be proccing this all the time, and Whirlwind's great at stacking up damage quickly with its bleeds, so that could be really interesting to pair with it. There's another heart that reads, after spending 150 to 200 of your primary resource, your next attack stuns enemies hit for 2 seconds. There is a possibility, obviously, this hasn't been tested yet, but if this snapshots for Whirlwind, where you spend 150 to 200 Fury, and then you snapshot into Whirlwind, and now Whirlwind is stunning everything, that would obviously be insane with this heart that's giving us 40% more bleed damage on enemies per CC. So that could be really interesting as well. And there's also a heart that reads, you gain 40 to 60% crit damage, but your non-critical strikes deal 20 to 15% less damage. Once again, Whirlwind is a really easy skill to reach a 100% crit chance on. So this could also be a really interesting heart to take advantage of. Guys, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. This was just to get the creative juices flowing, talking about some builds that could be exciting. I know a lot of people are feeling really down about the patch notes. It sucks. Barbarians are dealing a lot less damage. Every class is dealing a lot less damage. But there could be some really unique combos coming out with these new hearts, and I'm excited to try them out. Honestly, I am. And so, yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. If you guys have any other creative ideas for how we could get Barb steamrolling again, let me know down below. And this combo with the Butcher's Cleaver could honestly be used on any class that is focusing on dots. I just thought it had a little unique synergy with Whirlwind that I wanted to share with you guys. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Take care. Peace.